Welcome everyone to our third episode of our English podcast, and here I am with my co-host André Amaro. How are you, man?
Hey everyone, glad to be of help again. It's pouring rain outside here today.
Yeah, like as you guys
Yes.
know, André lives in Florianopolis, so it's pouring down there. So if something happens with his internet connection, that's why. Okay, but we're
Yes. I
gonna
would let
keep
you
going here.
guys know.
Okay, let's
Let's
keep up with
go.
our planning here, and we have something to talk about that is bucket list. That's what we're going to talk about today, bucket list. But before we starting here talking about what is that, if you like this idea or not, don't forget to follow us on another social media to have more contact with us. So it's André Amaro and Italo on Instagram. Are you on TikTok as well, André?
I'm on TikTok as just as a lurker, not as a
Very
content producer yet.
All right. Yeah, very good. So, welcome everyone. And the topic for this afternoon is bucket list, right? So, people might be confusing, right? Like, bucket, I know what it means. That is, I'm sorry to say that, but it's balde in Portuguese, and list is lista. So, bucket list, that's like, might be confusing for you guys. Like, is a lista de balde. That's like, what is that, right? So, André, with your own words, how would you explain to everyone that is listening to us now what is a bucket list?
All right, bucket list. First, it's important to understand the expression to kick the bucket in English.
Mhm.
Not many may know. We have an expression in Portuguese, literally translated as kick the bucket. Well, they might mean a little different things, the both. Because in Portuguese, when you kick the bucket is when you let go. You mean, you know what? I'm just gonna kick the bucket this weekend. I'm just gonna let go. I'm not gonna pay attention to my diet. I'm not gonna pay attention to my physical exercise and my routine. I'm kicking the bucket. Whereas in English, when someone kicks the bucket, that person has passed away. That person has died. So when you kick the bucket in English, you die. You go
Mhm.
from this dimension to another one. That's why people create and have created and still will create bucket lists. Well,
Yeah,
lists of things to do before you kick the bucket.
that's right. That's right. Even like I don't know if I told you that, but I learned this expression like kick the bucket and bucket list on a movie. There is a movie
In a
called
movie.
Bucket List with Morgan
Really?
Freeman. Have you seen? Have you
Okay.
watched this? Yeah, have you watched this
I've
movie
never
then?
watched it. Never
it's
watched it.
it's based on real story. Like basically, both guys, Morgan Freeman and Jack Nixon, they are like they have a terminal cancer, so they are about to kick the bucket. And Morgan
Okay.
Freeman, he remember like from his high school or college that his teacher request everyone to make a bucket list. And basically, well, I'm gonna give some spoilers here to you guys. So basically, they make a list of everything that they want to do before they kick the bucket. And basically, the whole movie is showing them like parachuting, driving like sports car, traveling like in a private jet. So everything that they wish to do before they kick the bucket. So it's a nice movie. I highly recommend. And I'm shocked that you have never watched it because I know that you are a big fan of movies and series, but
I have never
this is the
watched it.
first this is the first time that you say like, oh, okay, I haven't watched it, I haven't heard about a movie that. So kick the bucket. So my next question for you, before we start discussing here, like, is it good to have a bucket list? Because it's really like so related for like to kick the bucket, right? For like we die. Is it important to you? Do you think this is nice to have a bucket list?
I think the first difference we may the first difference we may discuss is that naturally it is common for people to have lists of things to do before they hit 30, things to do before they die, things to do before they get married, especially in United States, North America, especially there. It is common for people to make lists, to do lists. You have to do
Mhm.
lists. You have lists before birthday and whatever. So it's natural for them. For
Mhm.
us, not so much. Okay,
Yeah.
you have a rare breed of people, a rare breed, like a small percentage of people that do that, that make lists and that have this culture of, oh, before I die, I have put it on the list. We can even discuss about the power, the real power before, because when something is just in your mind, it has a value. When something
Mhm.
leaves your mind and comes to your mouth, it has a different value. And when you write that down, when you fixate that on something, it has even greater value. But I think if we start discussing this, we may drift too far away from the topic. But also, lists
No,
are
it's
powerful.
not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's very connected to our topic here.
Yeah, yeah, because lists are powerful. So when you write it down, you're giving an extra push. You're kind of doing a little bit more for it.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's very cultural to have. I don't think nowadays anymore, but I mean, until the early 2000s, it was very normal for people to have bucket lists, things that they want to do before they die.
Yeah.
But for our culture, for our Brazilian culture, I don't think that this is too trendy. What would you say?
Mm, yeah, yeah. If we make a survey and ask people on the street, like, do you have big goals? So, like, everybody's gonna say, yeah, at least one. Okay,
Mhm.
where is it? Where did you write it down? Oh no, it's just here. Like I'm just think.
There
So
you go.
I think what you said, when you write down, when you see, basically you can review that, you can revisit these notes, you can look at these notes, and this can this this list can become real. So I believe that, well, in my point of view, people behave according to what they want. So people behave according to what they want. So I want to buy a house, so I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna start a side hustle. I will save more money, I will spend less money. I'm gonna start to eating like at home instead of eating out. So I'm gonna start have some behaviors. I'm gonna act according to what I want. So uh, but I think for you have this kind of behavior, you need to really see why you're doing that. Because then you're gonna say, like, why I'm spending less money? Why I'm saving so much money? Why I'm not spending that? Why I'm not going that vacation? Because you need to remember, because you want to buy a house. But if you have a list, in your computer, on the wall or something, well, you're gonna behave in a certain way to achieve that. And basically, kick the bucket, as André said, is the same expression to say to die, to pass away. Everybody's gonna kick the bucket one day, right? And everyone has a big list that is called a bucket list, the things that they want to do before they die. But where is this list? What is in this list? So I think the first step is make this list, and you're gonna start to plan what you can do each year. Because in my opinion, if we have our bucket list divided in some categories, like what I want to achieve in 2 years in a soon future, what I want to achieve in 5 years, well, what I want to achieve in 10 years, well, I think we can cross out a lot of items then, but we need to write them down. So I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. So it is not from
Hmm.
our culture to make this list. It's the same like resolutions,
Yeah,
right? The same as resolutions, like,
yeah,
next year I'm going to lose weight, next year I'm going to start my own business or something. So people, like, in December, in January, people are very motivated, but in February they forget what they want. So basically, if they have just the simple act of writing down on a place, like in a piece of paper or on the wall, wall where they can see every day, they have more chance to achieve them, to reach those goals. That's what I think. But I have to ask you: do you have a bucket list? We're talking about that. People should have a list. People should make a list. Do you have your own bucket list? Do you have things that you want to do before you kick the bucket, André Amaro?
Yeah, I have wrote. Yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna be very honest with you. When I
Oh,
was living abroad around 15 years ago, I wrote down things I want to do before I turn 30.
wow! This is
So,
an
which is almost over, by the way, just nearly over. I have like just
it's
maybe a few.
January, right?
It's
It's
January. January, I
yeah.
will turn 30.
So it's
That's it.
about
January.
two. It's 2 months, 3 months,
Yeah, and
30.
I've got. I don't know where the physical list is. It is here somewhere. I have
Mm.
it somewhere, but I remember a few items. A few items were just like crazy. Like I want to score a Champions League goal. When I was 15. Before I turned 30, I want to score a Champions League goal. I didn't say the final or anything. I say a Champions League goal.
But we still
Yeah.
have chance, okay?
There's still, of course.
There's
If, for example,
the
in
odds
this
are
period of 6 months, I
okay.
get a chance to be part of a FIFA team and play the Champions League in FIFA and
Yeah,
score a Champions League goal, then I will have scored the
yeah,
goal. The
yeah.
chances
Yeah,
of, I
the
mean, I
odds are
had some
high.
stuff like that. It's funny to see to go back in a list that's this old.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I think we had a little bit of a
Yeah,
connection issue
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got that. But I like this list. Things you want to do before you turn 30. Wow, this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 28. I'm 28. I'm okay. Well, don't judge me. It's not my fault being like younger than you, but I think I'm gonna make this list. Things that I want to do before I reach my 30s. But I like that. But like, okay, so one of these items, like, okay, to score a goal. Okay, what else? Do you remember
Yeah.
other items you have there?
I remember most of the things I have failed. I remember having kids wasn't there.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
can
yeah,
cross that one out. You can
I can.
cross that
Yeah,
one out.
yeah, I can cross it out. Hmm.
You can
I'll
cross it.
have kids.
But it probably wasn't in yours, right?
Yeah, even like I think, yeah, it was not in my plan. It was not in my list. It was not on my list before 30. It was not. Okay, right. Is
that's
that is there
that's
is there
amazing.
is there another item that you can share with us? Because I like this list. I think I'm gonna make this
I
list.
think so. If I remember, I think I had on my list. Yeah, most things that I had on my list I didn't accomplish were something that completely, because I didn't know the career I was going to take or the path I was going to take when I came back to Brazil, just almost 15 years ago, a little less than
Uh,
15 years
but
ago.
but how old were you when you made that list?
15 or 16, 15. So it's going to be 15. It's going to be a 15-year-old list. We did it in school. We did it at school, as a school project.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
I remember um, it was for me something very important because I used to have that list in my room. So I would wake up and see that list,
Wow.
and then I moved,
Wow.
and that list got lost. And then
Got it.
I lost the list and I found it later on with the movie stuff. So there you go.
Got
But I
it.
do not
Got it.
have a bucket list.
Mm-hmm. Do not have a bucket list. Well, I do have a bucket list, but I think I'm gonna change for something like, well, of the items that I have in my bucket list, some probably I might not have enough time to achieve because I'm still 28. I'm still 28. I have like 1 year and a half, to almost 2 years there. But I think I'm gonna make a list of before 40s. I think that'll be nice. We're gonna have
Before 40, there you go.
a
Yeah.
decade. We're gonna have a decade to work on something to achieve. But Well, in my
There
list,
you go.
in my bucket list, I have some items that I can share here with you and you guys. First one is something that you have had that. So is to live abroad for a few years. I want to have this kind of experience, to live in a different culture, to live in a country that don't speak like the language is not Portuguese. I want to live in like can be the American culture. Why not? Can be United States. So I'd like to spend 2 or 3 years abroad, living, working, and just to check how it is, because I for this item, I think that if I don't do that, probably when I get like in my 40s, I will regret. Say why I didn't try, why I didn't take this risk. So I have to do that. I don't know when, but probably it's gonna be like the next years. Let's see. I want to have my own house. I want to build my own house. This is like I want to have like this so much so hardly. Like Sada and I, we talk about that a lot. I don't know if I have told you that, but I want to have my farm, to go on the weekends, to
Yeah.
spend with my family there, especially like New Year, Christmas. I think this is who people who have like a farm to go on the weekends. I envy you guys, because I want that. I want that.
Yeah.
And also two things. I want to watch an NBA game. I'm tired of watch NBA games on television, on
Courtside.
computer. Would be nice. Would be nice, but can be like in the last seat there just to feel that energy. I want to watch an NBA game. And the last one, I want to spend 20 days traveling.
20 days traveling.
I don't know where, I don't know when, but I'd like to have a long vacation of 20 days traveling, like
I
visiting
don't
like
think you
three.
can come back from that. If you're 20 days doing nothing, you just stay doing nothing the whole life, your whole life.
Maybe
Is
when
it
I get
possible to come back from a 20 days vacation?
yeah, I think if I take 20 days of vacation, I think I'll come back with more energy to have another 20 days vacation.
Yeah,
Say, okay,
yeah,
what
that's it.
I have to do to have like three 20-day vacations per year, I think something like that. This is
Yeah,
in my bucket list. This is in my bucket list,
20
but I'm
days.
but I'm gonna I'm
Wow.
gonna change my list of things I want to do before 40 years old. I think I wanna
Yeah.
you know wanna get your examples of that.
We make
But
yearly lists, too, right? Lists for the year. I think is more common.
yeah, yeah, you have more odds to achieve. This is what I think, because
Yearly list.
if we wanna like if we list things that we want to achieve like in 10 years, it's kind of
Yeah,
tough. Like we
yeah,
keep
exactly.
a certain habit or consistency just because
Yeah,
we're gonna know like that we're gonna achieve just in 10 years, and this is not like so encouraging. But let's
yeah.
say 2 years, 3 years, I think it's kind of this. But
And
my
also
last
not
question.
not visit the farm, right? Not visit the farm. Just live at the farm and have people visit there.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? And
Yeah,
like,
that's the goal for me. That's the dream. Living far away from society, far enough from society that they can't even mail me letters. You know,
all right, okay,
having
so you
a
guys
little
are
bit of
watching us in
goat,
here.
a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of sheep, a little
Got it.
bit of cattle, and then just making cheese, planting, growing tomatoes,
All
having a
right,
trad wife. That's the dream.
got it. So
You've
if
got
the
everything else but the farm, by the way.
hmm So you guys are watching us or listening to us. If there's a podcast, and André is not here. Probably he has got his farm and he doesn't have
Probably
internet connection.
long
That's why
gone, long
you guys
gone.
you guys will know. But our last question to you is like, have you ever achieved one of your goal list? Like, have you ever achieved one item from your before 30 list or bucket list or goal list?
Yeah. If
Do you have?
I have a pro. Yes, I have a few stupid ones. I have a few trashy ones that I have achieved, but I have, for example, achieved a goal in my list that was very nice and has been in my memory ever since. To watch um, a derby from my favorite football team home and see my team win. I have done that. I have seen my team live at a stadium, and I have seen
Yes.
my team win against a big opponent. That happened in the last time it happened when that I was present was in 2017. So it's been a while.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
This is nice. This is nice. It's a good goal.
Yes.
It's a good goal. But you said
Yeah.
there are others that are not are not in the
Yeah.
same
Others that
level.
are just no, not at the same level. No,
Got
no.
it.
There are
I
others that
got the
are.
point. I got the point. Nice. Well, I have
How about you?
crossed out some items from my list, but one that I can cross out now, but it was not in my list. Well, you have talked about that already
Yeah.
here. Is to become a father. So, I when I was like younger, 22, 23, I didn't see myself holding a baby and call me like this is mine. No,
Yeah,
this is
that's
my
the
daughter. This is my son. I didn't have that in my mind, but there's something like that changed. Like I got married to Sarah, and Sarah always had this dream to be a mom, and I always respect it. But we were always talk about like, oh, maybe like in 2 3 years. Let's think about that. Okay, not now, not now, not now, not now. But then, and I don't know if people who are watching us and listen to us now, my wife is called Sarah, and in 2022, she was diagnosed by a cancer called lymphoma, and it was 6 months of very intense 6 months of chemotherapy treatment, medicine, going to the hospitals like every month, every other week, by the way. And it was like a tough period, and through that period, like see how God works in a different way. Like when I was going like to the hospital every time, taking her and leaving the hospital with her, I saw like I was looking at life in a different perspective. Say, wow, and if I lose my wife here, sometimes I had to cross my like, wow, if I lose my wife now, you were only like 25 years old. Like, what if I lose her? And all her dreams will die with her. And then all of her dreams, almost all of her dreams, because there are some personal dreams, she has her personal dreams, start to be my dreams. And one of them, I think the most important one was to have a baby. So when she was cured by cancer, like she was cured, we had like all the exams, and she was,
we threw a great party.
yeah.
We
Like
threw a great party.
we threw a very good party, like at a farm, which unfortunately was not mine.
It was not
But André was there, so we celebrated her
blessed,
cheer.
blessed.
And then I saw
Yeah.
like I want to be a dad because I saw like a minimum odd of not having my wife anymore. Like I don't know, there were like 2 3%, but there was an odd. So say,
Yeah.
okay, I want to be with her. I want to have family with her. Let's stop being this child. I don't want kids. I don't want to have more responsibilities. Come on, we are adults. We have a lot of
Yeah.
responsibilities. Just one more. It's just one more, and we decided to have kids. And 4 months after her last chemotherapy, we had the news. I was pregnant, and now my days almost
Yeah.
next month should be 8 months, and I'm a father. So that was not in my list before 30s. That was not my
Yeah.
list. I always thought like to be like that with like 32, 33. but I became a father with 27, and I can cross it out. I can cross it
Yes,
out,
yes, you can.
and I don't know when I'm gonna be a father. Like again, I'll have the second child. Okay, so don't ask me this question. Okay, when
Yeah.
comes the next one? I don't know. Probably after 30s. Okay, this the second will be after 30s. The second will be my list before 40s. Not before 30s. I can't
There you go.
that.
Yeah.
Wow, it was a nice talk
It was a
about
nice
bucket
talk.
list.
It was a nice talk. Yes,
Bucket
and
list.
are you going to motivate your baby daughter to write down lists? Is that something that you're going to add to her culture, you think?
Yeah. I think I when I was a kid, I didn't do that. When I was a teenager, I didn't do that. Even when I became an adult, I didn't have a list. So I was that person. I wanna achieve good stuff, like big things, but I didn't have what I really wanted. So I'm gonna teach her. Okay, what do you want? I want something. Okay, so focus on that. Work for it. Because I want to live in Florianopolis. I want to live in Florianopolis, for example. This
Okay.
is this is a personal goal. But people say, I want so much to live in Florianopolis. But every year the person say the same thing. The same
Yeah.
thing. And the person doesn't do anything to achieve like half of it. Even like the person has never traveled to Florianopolis to see how Florianopolis. Okay, let's see how the
Yeah.
city, the cost of living, how is the supermarket there. Let's see how the neighborhoods are. The person doesn't do anything. It's the same of mine. Like, I want to travel abroad. Okay, but do you have a passport? Like, have taken the first step, or like,
Yeah.
no? I wanna go to Europe. Okay, do you have a passport? No. Okay, so you don't want it. You just
and,
saying.
and for every level there's something you can do, and I think which is you now, my friend, you sounded like Vajim Zealand, because it's something that he says a lot, that before you you want to achieve something, you want to dream whatever you want to dream. Let's say somebody's dream is to be in Barcelona, Spain. They want to be in Barcelona, Spain, but they have no money. They're poor at the moment. They have no money. They don't have a job. They don't have, they have never traveled in an airplane,
Hmm.
but they dream about being in Barcelona. And Vajim Zilan says you got to start facilitating the course of events. Call that however you want. You want to call that God. You want to call that time. You want to call that universe. You want to facilitate God. You want to facilitate for God to help you achieve that that dream. So
Hmm.
let's say, oh, we want to be Barcelona. Okay, but you don't have a passport?
Yeah.
Have you looked? Have you been online? Did you type in how do I get a passport? Did you visualize that? You don't need to
Where is
visualize
Barcelona?
you exactly. You don't need to visualize the money for
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
visualize achieving the goal. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't. Florianopolis is easy. Like, I want to live in Florianopolis. Go there, see how it is, feel yourself in that image, but create that image in your head if you can.
Yeah.
Google Street View. Click on that little puppet and put it in the streets of Barcelona, and see how it looks, and imagine yourself in that situation, and
Yeah.
then create lists to make your life easier, so you know where you're going. So let's say,
Yeah.
oh, so I need a passport. For the passport, I need money. For money, I need a job. And for a job, I need to apply myself. Then
Yeah.
then you can start making lists
Yeah.
to help you to make your life easier.
Yeah.
But a dream has to start somewhere, and it sure doesn't start by you complaining or you placing barriers on that dream.
Yeah.
So make it easy for yourself. There's a whole lot of people out there who are going to try to make it difficult. So make it easy on yourself. Maybe that's
Yeah.
a list.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a
And
list. So a list could,
and
could help you.
and this what makes people. I think for this reason and others, that there are so many people so frustrated of like, I don't achieve anything. I have
Yeah.
big goals, but I haven't achieved any of my goals. Okay, like you have big goals. It's important to have big goals. But for example, I wanna buy a Ferrari. I'm just gonna give an example. Okay, but you are still taking bus to work. Your first goal is not to buy a Ferrari, is to buy a car, or like buy a motorcycle. After you have a car, then you buy a more comfortable car, and then like level by level you're going to achieve your Ferrari, your Porsche. So sometimes people say like, I want to lose I want to lose 30 kilograms this year. Okay, but start like
Cut off
one
a
by one.
limb.
Or like start losing 5
Cut off a
kilograms.
limb.
Don't look at
Yeah,
the 30.
exactly.
Like look at the 5. And the most important one, I think people don't pay attention to that. And this is something that I learned last year. For you achieve your goals, you need to have habits that will take you to the goal.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to say like,
Perfect.
I wanna be thin, I wanna lose 30 kilograms, or I wanna buy a house. If you don't have behaviors, if you don't have habits that will help you, as you said, facilitate your life to achieve that. So okay, so don't look at the 30 kilograms, look that going to the gym 5 times a week, drink 3 liters of water every day, don't buy snacks on weekdays, don't eat pizza every weekend. So if you have habits, the right habits to your goals, you achieve them, because you'll be like
Yeah.
a trophy, it will be just a medal.
It's
So
a patience game too, right? It's a patience game. It's
Yeah,
a
people
patience
don't have
game. You
patience.
wanna you wanna have the goal in mind and not pay attention to the how.
Yeah.
Have these things that you have to do. Like for example, you want to lose weight. Well, start taking a walk every day and start
Yeah.
thinking about it. Then
Yeah.
stop thinking about it. I
But
said
it, but
start
it,
thinking about it. I
yeah,
mean stop thinking about it. Stop
but
thinking
but
about it.
but
Take the
think
walks.
about it.
Stop thinking about it. Think about the goal at the end already
Yeah,
being already being realized. When you
yeah.
realize that goal, and you'll be like, "Is it?" I think I used realized incorrectly now. When you achieve, when you complete that goal,
Yeah.
but
But
that's what I
like,
meant. What?
and what you say, like, I want to lose weight, start going for a walk. But people say like, but this is not gonna change anything.
Well,
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna
go back.
change in the long term, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna go back home, but I still have the same body. But like the
Yeah.
people don't think like it's the little by little every day that make the difference
Yeah.
in the
Now, I heard
future.
something great from Le Kawakami, who was a great friend of mine, and I think he completely changed direction, and he's not working with health anymore. But he used to work back in the day, 2018, 2017. He used to say, "You gotta love the body that you are in right now,
Hmm.
because that's the body that is gonna get you to where you want." So
Nice.
after a walk, come home, hug yourself, tell you love yourself. And that's
Yeah.
for the mind, and for the soul, probably the same. But
Hmm.
if I can leave here with one advice is have that goal in mind and stop focusing on the how. Start doing whatever you can.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great. I think we can finish our podcast with that quote.
There you
I
go.
love that. I
Boom.
love it. Boom.
Yeah.
Well, André, thank you so much for our like. This was our third episode of our English podcast. For you guys that were listening to us
Third one.
to here, well, thank you so much, and I see you guys in our next episode. André, thank you so much, and
Yes.
everyone.
Thank you.
Also, thank you guys. Take care. See you guys soon.